Good evening, everybody. I'm going to show you how to do a really cute project using items from the Dollar Tree. So I found this little truck. It came with a little camper. It was $1 at the Dollar Tree. I definitely wanted to make it my own, so I popped out that little plastic Christmas tree that was in the back of it, and I decided to paint it. I went over it with a darker color. This is cherry picked. You can use any paint you want, but I wanted a darker color underneath the red just to create some shadows, some depth. So we're going to go ahead and put on this maroon plum color. And then when it's partially dry, then I'm going to go over it with my Carnival Red. And I'm not getting everything perfect. I want some of that plum to show through, as I said, to create some depth and some shadow. Looks so much better. The Dollar Tree also has these little tiny Christmas trees. So I grabbed one out and I just popped that base off with the scissors. And we're going to replace that plaster tree with this little bit more realistic looking one. Cute. And I did coat that truck with a polyacrylic spray too, just to seal that color on. At the Dollar Tree, they also have these little shadow boxes, which are cute, but we're going to make it our own. So I just took my white linen paint and I am just painting it all white. I did have to do 2 coats though to go over all that color that was in the background and on the top. After that dried, then, or actually before it dried, as it was still a little bit wet, I did put in some of my my snow glitter, just the shimmer. And then I glued the truck in, just with some hot glue. This tissue paper was also found at the Dollar Tree. I liked the Let It Snow part, so I did cut out those letters, those words. Took my Mod Podge and just a light coat, just in the back area. And then I'm going to take that tissue paper that I cut out and I'm going to very gently stick it down on top of that Mod Podge. Usually when I decoupage, I will lay some cling wrap down and then go over it with my brayer. Obviously my brayer could not fit into this little tiny shadow box. So I'm just gently taking my finger and just tapping it down, trying not to get any wrinkles. And once the words were all set, I went back over it with a little more Mod Podge very gently. I did not want to tear the tissue paper. And this will just kind of seal it in. Cute. Let it snow is what it says, so I wanted to add some snow. So again, I took my Mod Podge and I wanted some snow on the sides and then on the bottom and underneath the truck. Dollar Tree again came through. They have that faux snow, just like that. It's got a little shimmer to it. We're just going to sprinkle that right on the Mod Podge. Again, with everything I do, I like texture. So this just adds a little more texture to the piece, to the mantelpiece, the ornament, whatever you want to do with it. And then to get underneath the truck, I did switch up brushes. I just grabbed a small little paintbrush I had sitting right there. And that's going to get right underneath that truck. And I'll just take some of that excess snow and put it down in there, tap it on the table a couple times, get it in there. And there we go. And then I stared at this for a little bit. Wasn't sure what I was going to do next, but then this really cute plaid ribbon also came from the Dollar Tree. Too thick, so I did cut it down. I just kind of eyeballed it to go along the edges of this. And just with my handy dandy hot glue. Do you guys see that pink thing on my finger? Yeah, Dollar Tree. It protects your finger from hot glue. Awesome. It does really come in handy because I do tend to burn my fingers a lot on hot glue. And just a tip for you guys too, as you can see, I started on the upper corner. Next time I do this, I will definitely start on the bottom corner because that top corner where I started, that's actually going to overlap ribbon, which is fine. I masked it pretty well, but just as a rule of thumb, I don't know what I was thinking, but start at a bottom corner. That way that seam is on the bottom of the piece and not the top. There, just gives it a little color, a little something around the edges. Now for the top, I do know that I wanted a bow. Typically this is not how I make bows, but I didn't have my wire. I also didn't have my easy bow maker either, so I just kind of improvised. All this ribbon that you guys see here is also from the Dollar Tree. So as you can see, I'm kind of folding it up. Because this ribbon is not wired on the edges, it's going to be hard for me to fluff it and to kind of hold it in place. So this is why I'm taking a little tiny, very, very tiny dab of hot glue just to kind of hold the ribbons in place. You don't want to use too much because then you're not going to be able to pinch it in the middle. So if you do this, just a teeny, teeny, teeny little drop of glue. That way you're still able to, it's still flexible in the middle to wrap. This gold ribbon and the red ribbon are about the same width, and I didn't want that in the bow piece, so I did just cut off just a slight bit of that gold ribbon. So then I'm going to stack all of them together, and then I will take my jute and I will wrap the center, tying it in the back. And then I am going to secure the knot with a little bit of hot glue as well. And there is my bow. And I'll be honest, you guys, I didn't, I felt the bow was a little too blah. So I wanted to create some volume to it. And again, because this ribbon does not have wire, I just kind of created my own, what's the word I'm looking for? Depth, body, volume. Just pick one of those words. But as you can see, I'm putting a dab of hot glue in the center of each loop. And then I'm just taking just a small dowel I had, and I'm literally bending that loop in half. And that's going to kind of lift everything up and make it look better. Then in the middle of the bow too, I wanted to add something. The jute just wasn't doing it for me. So here are those awesome little berries that you can get also at the Dollar Tree. Again, they were great for filler and just pretty much anything. Then I just grabbed some random foliage I had also from the Dollar Tree. I definitely wanted to add some green. I did end up trimming them in the front a little bit too, just because they were really shadowing the word let and it was hard to see. And then I trimmed the top of the bow, as you can see here, because it was driving me nuts. It was not, it was sticking up a little more than I wanted it to. And grabbing some more berries. I just cut those right off the stem. And then we'll just hot glue those right in the middle. Ta-da! Whoops. Safe. There we go. And then, as I said, you can just use this as like a table piece, a mantle piece. I did put some jute on it as well, just in case I decided to hang it. And again, just hot glue that on the back. And then this ornament is done. Here are some stills. I will definitely be making a few more of these too, so I'll make sure I get pictures up when I complete them. They're going to be different. Not all of them will be the truck, so. And that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have questions, hit me up.